So I have now the pleasure of introducing our next speaker, Lisa Jacobson. She's a Brooklyn Park City Council member. She serves as Director of Development at Cambria Hills and as a consultant to other organizations, among a few other things, but we don't have time to go into all of those. But she does have over 30 years of nonprofit and corporate leadership experience in award-winning organizations across the Twin Cities community. Lisa has focused her work in the areas of fundraising, community engagement, marketing, communications, strategic planning, continuous improvement, operations, and program expansion. Boy, we got a lot of the same things going on over the last 30 years. But if you talk to Lisa, you will know how passionate she is about young people, as most of the organizations she has served have been youth-focused. She lives in Brooklyn Park with her husband, John Jacobson, and they have a blended family with 7 children. Busy household. And I know that she's excited to welcome a new grandchild, too. Maybe she'll share that with you. I don't know yet, but it's on the way, right? It's on the way. Okay. She's active in her community with the Brooklyn Park Rotary, the Mayor's Prayer Breakfast Community Foundation, and the Lions Club. In her spare time, I don't know where that is, she owns an online women's boutique business. She dances for the Minnesota Timberwolves Senior Dancers, and maybe she'll show us a couple of moves, I don't know, and much more. So please help me in giving Lisa Jacobson a warm welcome this morning.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Come on, show us. Come on.
Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break.
You have to pay for that ticket. March 8th will be the next show. So I am happy to be here with all of you today. Dale said I was the cleanup crew. I don't really know what that means. Oh, okay. So as I look out, I see many familiar faces and many that are not familiar to me. Hi, Sam. I see a young person that I have mentored for many years, huh, Caitlin? Who is a student here. But I'm always wanting to meet new people. This is my community. This is the place that I call home. This is where I raised my children. And serving on the city council was something I said I would do once nobody was looking for dinner anymore. And so when they all grow up and fly away, this is what I do, right? So when I was asked to speak here today, for probably the first time ever, I had to take a step back and think about my life as a leader. It's an interesting exercise. If you've never done it, I recommend you do. One thing that I want to point out in the beginning is that you don't really ever have an opportunity to register to be a leader. As was stated earlier, you either have leadership abilities or you have no interest in being a leader. I know very successful people who want to be in the background and work hard, but not lead. As I was doing the speech for my husband last night, he said, "That's me," because that is. He's the quiet and shy one. So I am a Timberwolves Senior Dancer, and there are definitely people in my group who like to be in the back row. They go to the back row on purpose. Not me. I want to be in the front row. I want to be the leader. I take it seriously. We're literally out there for 60 seconds. But when we come out, people go crazy because we're kind of old and we do hip hop. But I love that spot of leadership. So I grew up with a mom who I would not categorize as a leader because she never really left our home. She stayed home to take care of us. She cleaned all day. We had the patterns of vacuum in our carpet every day. But is the picture up yet, Brittany? So she always told me that I was a leader, not a follower. But I didn't really get it. To a kid in a purple dress with a bow on her head that was way too big, I didn't know what that meant. But once again, my mom was right. The first time I can remember leading anything, I was 9 years old, and I wrote a letter. Do you guys in the back know what that is? Writing a letter, because we didn't have any other way, right? To the Muscular Dystrophy Association to get one of their backyard carnival kits. Some of you are nodding because you did it too. Once I received the kit, I organized my neighbor friends to put on this carnival in my backyard. And I still remember that we raised and sent in $4.15. I know, right? That was 45 years ago. And the ironic thing about this, I never thought about it until getting ready for this, is that I've spent the majority of my adult life doing that very thing. As a nonprofit event planner and fundraiser, I was being a leader back then, and really it was laying the groundwork for my future. But while many people up here have talked about the positive aspects of leadership this morning, I am here to say that aspiring to lead can sometimes have a dark side too. So I want to leave today for you with 7 things to do and not to do, or to keep your eye out for. I feel like as the old woman up here, I can do this. So number 1, as a leader, your purpose is always to contribute. So you should own your role as a leader. Don't get lost behind the curtain. Step out and take center stage. Even if it's in front of 12,000 people on the court at a Timberwolves game, own it. Sometimes stepping out on that stage, like the one I'm on today, can cause you to pause and say, do I have the confidence to say anything that's going to resonate with anyone here? Believe in yourself. Your leadership is something you need to believe in first. So check yourself on that. Number 2 is be ready for 2 things to happen when you're a leader. You will absolutely have those who respect you as a leader. They will follow you. They will love to get affirmations from you. They want to back you up as a leader. But there are also going to be people who have zero interest in being led. Those who believe things were just fine before you got here, and they're unwilling to embrace and accept you as a leader. So the third thing is, if and when those who don't respect you start having a louder voice than those who do, then you need to have the guts to make a change. You may need to do as I have done recently and walk away from a leadership position. This position for me was literally a huge part of my identity. And I walked away, and now I'm creating a life by design. I figured out what I want, what I'm best at, and I am taking the steps to get that. But I had to dig deep to find the courage to confront my fears, to state my value, and then see if people would actually believe in my value and pay for my value. I had myself on the back burner for far too long. Have any of you ever done that? Maybe some of you are doing it now. None of us deserve to be on the back burner of our own lives. So number 4, keep a confidence log. You can call it a diary. I call it a confidence log. So write about things from your past, hurts, wins, where you exuded confidence, so that you can always look back and draw on that. I have this private group on Facebook, a group of ladies in my life, many of whom don't know each other. But every day I post an inspirational quote to inspire them to have a great day. But so often, whatever it is I'm posting helps me more than anything. It's coming from places of my own life, what's happening with my relationships, my work. I actually wrote on here my works, because I have so many jobs. My leadership, all of those things. Which leads me to the next one, number 5. Fill your own cup first. Figure out your winning ritual, time that is yours as you set your day up for winning. Those of you who know me know early morning is not really my thing. But it means I have figured out how I have to start the day to have a great day. My winning ritual starts with a cup of coffee out of one of my favorite mugs with amazing cream that I know is not good for me, but that's okay. I take my vitamins. Maybe for you, it might be a fitness component, watching a motivational video, reading an intention of the day. But I think that's how we have to start our days, kind of level setting to face whatever's to come. Never stop developing yourself personally and professionally. But I also want to warn you that personal development has its limits too. Because if how-tos were enough, we would all be rich, skinny, and happy. Because we can read all the books in the world. That's the easy part. But then what? So start your day with gratitude for the things that you have and the things that you're aspiring to have. Ask for strength and courage, because I can only control so many of the things in my life. So affirmation is critical to your success as a leader. And this is an important part. Talk to yourself more than you listen to yourself. I catch myself sometimes thinking about bad things that have happened to me. Why am I doing that? That's not serving me any purpose. So check yourself throughout the day. Catch yourself doing that and correct it. So ask yourself, what am I doing now? What do I want? And if I'm going to get there, what needs to shift? I'm at point A, and this doesn't serve me. I want to be at point B. So what do I need to do to get there? So think about that. Number 6. Sometimes you have to take a hard look in the mirror and face your doubt and your fear within, the voice that tells you it's not possible, the voice that questions, who do you think you are to think you are a leader? Because if you don't believe in what you're doing, how can you ask someone else to believe in what you're doing? When you show up and you are all in and you have that posture about you, that's what will get people to follow you. So who do you surround yourself with? Who is in your circle of influence? Of course, that evolves over time as you become a leader. I think to myself, who are the people that I genuinely want to be connected with? Because who you hang out with is who you are in the eyes of others. As a leader, obviously, you must know and be in relationships with many different people in your day-to-day. But who do you hang out with on the weekends? Are they inspiring and encouraging you, or are they bringing you down? Can you be who you truly are without fear of judgment? But people around you who are like, heck yes, you go, girl. Cheering you on, elevating you. Maybe you just need one true accountability partner. It's always a great idea to grow your network daily. Get involved in the community. Whether that's here at North Hennepin, there's many, civic groups in the community. I mean, the list is long only because I love knowing more people And so in order to do that, you have to tap in and show up to those things where the people are. So expanding your network is an important part of being a leader. So the last thing, number 7, is accept that failing forward is part of your journey. I have failed as an employee, as an employer, as a kid, as a mom and a stepmom of a kid or 2 or 7, as a student. Many people don't know this, but I went off after high school to St. Thomas, and I always say it was like letting a caged animal out for the first time, because I lived in a very strict house, and suddenly they weren't watching me. And I did not do well. I was not a leader in college. That is a dark time of my life, and quite honestly, many times when I think back, I'm surprised that I'm still here today. It was that dark. So failure is part of the deal, but I keep showing up day after day. So think about not what isn't working, but how can I make this work? And you may still make a decision to walk away from whatever it is that you're doing, but only after you've done whatever it took to get to the day where you make that decision. If you want something, figure out how to make it happen. So go out and lead and make a difference in your life and in others every single day. Thank you.